And welcome back to another episode of Panther Sports Zone. I'm your host, Kenneth Richardson.
And I'm your host, Khalid Gray.
And Khalid, we've just had an action-packed week. We obviously were here earlier this week to work, but now we have just even more stuff to tell these people. How are you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal, man. I know, like we said in the list of things we have to talk about today, we have a jam-packed rivalry game against Texas Southern tomorrow.
Definitely.
We have a lot of information about how the tennis team is starting to rile up their season. Track and field is back in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We'll get into that as well. And women's and men's, like I said, are playing against Texas Southern, but we're going to dive in a little deeper. And we have some footage from Coach Byron Smith talking about rebounding and defense, but we'll get into that later.
Definitely.
So, would you like to segue into our stories?
I would like to just start off, before we even get into any of that, I would actually like to start off and mention a lot about our football season. As the 2024 football season comes to a close, several standout players are already making moves to take their career to the next level. Wide receiver Samar Savage has earned an invitation into the 2025 NFL HBCU Combine, where we have the opportunity to showcase his skills in front of NFL scouts in hope of securing a spot on a professional roster. During his 2 seasons with the Panthers, Shamar amassed an impressive 913 receiving yards on 41 receptions, averaging 19.4 yards per catch, and recorded 6 touchdowns. Joining him on the pathway to professional football is defensive lineman Miles McKinney IV, which has signed a deal with the Memphis Showboats of the UFL after a season with Galo Futebol Americano, a Brazilian football team competing in the National League. While playing with the Panthers, McKinney had contributed 42 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and played a key role in the team's 2022 SWAC championship victory. Rounding out this talented group, Fred Stokes Jr., Calvin Presley Jr., and Trajan Spiller all are set to return to the 2025 HBCU Legacy Bowl, hosted by All-State at Ullman Stadium in New Orleans, Louisiana, on February 22nd. This prestigious event will bring together top HBCU football talent, providing them with a platform to compete at an elite level and gain exposure in front of scouts and fans alike. Congratulations to these outstanding Panthers on their achievements. We're cheering you on every step of the way.
Transition to men's track and field, the men's and women's track and field teams are competing at the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Friday and Saturday for another exciting indoor meet. This 2-day event features a range of competitions split across both days. On Friday, the field events include pole vault, long jump, weight throw, and high jump, while the track events feature the 200-meter, 400-meter, 600-meter, and 3,000-meter. And an exclusive invitational race showcasing the top 16 athletes in both men's and women's track and field. Saturday's lineup continues with field events such as shot put, pole vault, and triple jump. On the track, athletes will compete in the 60-meter hurdles preliminaries, 60-meter dash, men's and women's invitational 60-meter preliminaries, men's and women's 1 mile, 60-meter hurdle finals, and invitational 40-meter featuring the top 16 athletes. In addition, the 60-meter finals, 800-meter, and the 4x4 relay. Following a strong performance last week at the Fast Track Indoor Challenge in Houston, Texas, the Panthers are ready to dominate the competition once again. Best of luck to our athletes. Go Panthers.
Prairie View's men's and women's tennis teams are set to compete at home against Tarleton State University this Saturday at 12 p.m. at the PVAMU tennis courts. This season has presented challenges for PV tennis with tough losses against their interconference opponents. However, their season opener against SMU saw a bright spot, as Tamika Waller has secured a victory over Liam Sunkel, winning both sets on the match on November the 9th. With this season still in its early stages, there are plenty of time for men's and women's teams to regroup and make a strong comeback. Best of luck to the Panthers as they look to turn things around.
As we segue into basketball, let's talk about the men's team as they go against Texas Southern. Prairie View men's team continues conference play this Saturday with a highly anticipated rivalry matchup against Texas Southern at 2:30 p.m. at the Health and Physical Education Building at Texas Southern. This game features 2 teams experiencing very different seasons. Texas Southern enters the matchup on a 6-game win streak with their only conference loss coming against Southern, the current undefeated leader in SWAC play. Defensively, Texas Southern has been dominant, ranking 5th in overall defense and 1st in opponent field goal percentage in the SWAC, proving themselves as a defensive powerhouse. Meanwhile, the Panthers sit at 3-5 in conference play and are looking to regain momentum after a strong start to the season. In their last outing, Braylon Bush led the charge with 28 points, while Tanaj Petway added 22 of his own. Prairie View ranks 4th in scoring and 2nd in field goals percentage in the SWAC, establishing themselves as an offensive force. Before we continue, we have a snippet of Coach Byron Smith giving his thoughts on rebounding and defense.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Zone. My name is Khalid Gray, and I'm here with Coach Smith. Coach Smith, going into this game, when you're scouting out these teams, Alcorn is not necessarily a tall team. Their tallest players are around 6'7". We have two people that are above the height of that. They're 6'11" each, with both Elijah and excuse my name, I think it's Bolton Jr. But coming into this game, did you expect the rebounding discrepancy to be what it was? Number 15 for Alcorn had 17 rebounds, 6 offensive, and helped Alcorn amass a 36-22 discrepancy between the Panthers and what they have. So my question to you is, was it a discipline thing? Was it an energy thing? What created that divide in the rebounding category?
Well, first of all, Elijah Terry 6'7". I know they got him listed at 6'8". He's 6'7". Ryan Bolton is 6'10", 6'11". But it was a bit of both. It was, because obviously the young man, Benet, I think, had 17 rebounds against Texas Southern. That's what he brings to the table, and he's committed to doing that. So it was all over the scouting report that he's an energizer bunny. He likes to get to the O glass, the D glass, and he did just that. We've struggled all year with rebounding. I mean, it's no secret. We've talked about it. It's an emphasis on us boxing out and being better on the boards. And that's the reason why we're not able to win games, is because of the discrepancy in the number of rebounds that we're giving up.
Well, something that I do want to kind of focus on, because I don't want to be too negative, but positives are that you guys lead, or at least are in top 3 standing in the SWAC in three-point percentage. But then on the flip side of it, you guys are around 6th or 7th in three-point shots made. But to add to it, you guys are also high in steals and the ability to mediate how many turnovers you guys have. But you also are very keen on scoring off of turnovers. I know tonight it was 25 turnovers generated. You guys generated 25 points off of that as well. So kind of talking to you guys, this offense, what do you guys kind of want to embody for your offense going into these games?
Well, obviously, we've always been a defensive-first program since I've been here. We've kind of gotten away from that a little bit, but we still show flashes of being a really, really solid defensive team that wants to let our defense dictate our offense and get out in transition and try to get some easy baskets in transition. Some nights we're pretty good at it. Some nights we're not so good at it. But, I think we still got our best basketball ahead of us. We've dropped 2 games at home, which is not really any fun. We anticipated winning both of them. We always want to defend our home court. But I do think that we've got a very accomplished offensive team led by Tanaj Petway. Keep in mind, Nick Anderson, our leading scorer, is out. He's been out for about a month now. We're hoping to get him back, because that was 20 points a game right there, so that makes a big difference. But you really can't harp on it, but it definitely would help to get him back, and I think that would give us more balance, because tonight, as you can see, Alcorn was prepared for Tanaj Petway, and they kind of slowed him down a little bit. He only had 14 points when he's been averaging 25, 26. So we've got some areas that we have to improve in. Again, rebounding. Alcorn, you're right, wasn't a very big team tonight, wasn't bigger than what we were by much, but, they really attacked the glass, and they did a great job, and I think that's where the game was lost.
And welcome back. This matchup will be a battle of strengths. Texas Southern's rugged defense against Prairie View's high-power offense. With rivalry pride on the line, this showdown is shaping up to be an unforgettable clash.
On the women's side, Prairie View's A&M women's basketball team is set to take on the rival Texas Southern at the Health and Physical Education Building on Texas Southern campus at 12 p.m. in a highly anticipated conference showdown. Texas Southern enters the matchup as the only undefeated team in SWAC play, sitting atop of the standing with the conference top-ranked offense and 4th-ranked defense. Their defensive dominance has been a key factor in their success this season, leading the SWAC with 39 blocks in conference play and an average of 5.5 per game. Additionally, they rank first in both rebounding and opponent field goal percentage, solidifying their reputation as a defensive powerhouse. For Prairie View, this season has started slowly but remains full of potential. The Panthers currently hold an 11th place spot in the conference with a 2-6 SWAC record, securing wins over Alcorn State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. In their last outing, they battled it hard but fell to Alabama A&M by 9 points. With Adrena Waddle leading the team with 13 points, while Krista Schultz and Niam Thornton each added 8. These keys to the victory will be Prairie View's ability to box out and protect the rim against Texas Southern elite rebounding unit, as well as minimizing turnovers and maximizing scoring opportunities. A statement win against the conference leader could shift the momentum of the season and provide a confidence boost for the Lady Panthers moving forward.
And as we're wrapping up Panther Sports Zone today, Kenneth, I have a question for you. This being a big rival matchup, and it's just one really, really quick question. What do you anticipate happening in this conference matchup?
I mean, definitely a lot of fouls. A lot of fouls are going to be called, so you have to play through a lot of context. So I feel like as Texas Southern, they're obviously looking to make it to the tournament this year, so they have to obviously win throughout SWAC and through the tournament that we have later in the season. So I feel as it's going to be a very jam-packed action game. I mean, it's in Houston. Planters, please go support if you have the ability to go out there and support the game. But, I mean, I just feel like it's going to be a big thing. I mean, it's obviously going to be a big deal. We lost to them both times last year when we played there and we played them here. So obviously the Panthers are looking to come in and, the term I like to say, walk in your trap and take over your trap.
And to kind of piggyback off of it before we wrap up, kind of speaking on that Texas Southern team really, really quick, they're twice of who they were last year. We just wrote off like everything that they've improved upon. I mean, their defense has improved, both men's and women's. Offensively, they're still juggernauts. They remind me a lot of the Celtics. They're able to play defense and able to score the ball while also minimizing turnovers and making sure that their offense is very fluid. They play very high energy defense. And then on top of that, on the women's side of things, their rebounding is unmatched in the SWAC. So when you're talking about the physicality aspect of it, I understand that there's going to be a lot of fouling, a lot of free throw line shots, and Prairie View leads. I think Prairie View women's leads the SWAC in free throw percentage. So I feel like with that plays into our hand a little bit. I know with the men's, we have one of the best field goal percentages in the league. We also know that we take a lot of good three-point shots, and we make a lot of threes as well. So I feel like our offense is going to carry in both games. I do believe that the physicality won't be anything. But we're going to come back to you guys with live updates on how that game pans out and everything else that comes as sports news, because this is Panther Sports Zone. So we enjoyed you guys being here today with us. It's been Khalid Gray.
And it's been Kenneth Richardson.
And we will see you guys in the next episode of Panther Sports Zone.